Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo, this is my forever co-host Jump, and today we talk about Outside. Since this is we're releasing this like Christmas, not Christmas, but December 23rd. So we're near Christmas, so this entire week will be filled with horror movies for Christmas. So since this genre has been one of the strongest this year, so it's fitting to end on this note.
I guess.
Why?
I don't think we've done a single Christmas movie yet.
Oh well.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, folks. Anyway, but yeah, we're starting with a local movie, Outside, made by a local director and like starring local actors, but produced, of course, by Netflix. And we missed the boat on this during October since we were like trying to catch up with other stuff. But here we are making up for it.
Enzo gave me like nightmares for the whole of October, and then now he gives me nightmares mid-December or the start of December. And I'm just like, why? Why you do this to me? But thank you for making me do this, because not gonna lie, I like this movie.
Yeah, and like it answers the question, what's more terrifying than zombies? And the answer is generational trauma.
I was gonna say
Uh,
we would rather face the apocalypse than face our parents.
yeah, oh god. But yeah, this is I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what province this is set in, which shows my
Neither do I.
knowledge.
They
said
didn't,
north.
They're speaking Tagalog, so it's somewhere here in Manila, and they said north.
Yeah.
So just go upwards from here. So,
Yeah.
they didn't really specify on like where they're at. I don't know what the hell a delta base is. I guess it's just a name of a base in that world.
Area.
But, like,
Yeah.
But other than that, they did not specify where they're at. They did not like give us all that much detail on their surroundings. We just know is that they're in the province, and we're like us Filipinos are very familiar with those.
Yeah.
And the situations of like going to like the ancestral house, clearly what was the name of the character again?
Francis.
Like family owns a lot of land there.
Yeah, his family is loaded, as you can see in the movie. You're like, oh wow, you're one of those families. All right.
Yeah, they have a house in the middle of nowhere, but just farmlands everywhere.
Yeah.
And I love it. I really do. And we do start off with just a little happy, like, wedding scene. And I was like, aw.
Yeah.
And it's just downhill from there.
Yeah. I do like the fact that it's located in this hacienda, because it just gives more isolation to where they are. Like, it's not like in Manila or QC or Makati where you're like, I know where you are, you can go here for safety.
Our survival instincts in general. Like, just take the MRT and then
yeah, like, or you could go to Makati Cinema Square because they have a lot of stuff. They have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, oddly enough, they got a lot of guns. So
Yeah.
if ever the zombie apocalypse comes about,
That'd be the point of
cash and carry or like Makati Cinemas.
Yeah, that's like we all know where to go. Anyway, but I do like the fact that it's just one family. It's like week 0 or like week 1 of this whole thing, and like I love the design. Even though we don't really see much of the zombies, I do love the design and concept. From the outside, it doesn't look anything unique, but the fact that they say their last bit of life before
like the
turn.
last words that they say, or like the thing that they say the most is the thing that they like,
Yeah.
like run away or somebody praying,
Or
which is
You're like, oh.
yeah, pabili. I felt so bad because I'm like, what was the situation with her?
Right.
She was just buying shit and then she just got bit.
Right. She's like, Manong bit me. Why am I feeling funny now?
It's like, god damn, pabili. But like, yeah, that's a great concept though, because it adds a little bit more like humanity to something that's not human anymore, which makes it even scarier, in my opinion. Where like when he runs in, like they go to their ancestral house, and he goes to like meet up with his parents and see if they're still alive. Sadly, they're not.
Yeah.
And he runs into his father, who's dead already, and then he runs into his mom. He's not quite there yet.
Yeah, but
And her last words are like, "I'm sorry," and I was like, these things can fucking talk.
All right. I think you know what, I think I would prefer the clickers over this because I'm like, at least they don't say whatever they wanted to say in their previous life. So yeah, it gives a bit more like vibes.
Yeah, you know, like it's just like it's just horrible when you hear like your loved ones say "I love you," but those were the last words that they say
All right. Yeah.
before they turned.
Like I
And I'm
love
just
you or duck
no,
ball, and
never
you're
mind.
like, oh, you poor bastard. It's the last thing you
Yeah.
said before being overrun. But yeah,
I feel like the scariest one was the one that was pray. That's for me the scariest last things that you can say. I'm like, no,
Yeah, you're
no,
just like,
I don't want a prayer kissing me.
yeah. But yeah, the family led by Sid Lucero as Francis and Beauty Gonzalez as Iris. Like they're both good, but Francis, the actor for Francis, is really fucking great.
Oh my god, he steals the show. Even
Yeah.
though yes, he is the main character. I get it. But
Yeah.
my god, if you want to like have like a whole really good depth into a character,
Yeah,
Francis is the way.
yeah,
It's just like right at first, like we thought, oh, family just going through the zombie apocalypse. What's new about this? You know,
yeah,
they take this horror movie into a whole new turn,
yeah,
which I love. Where they're just like, yeah, we're in this house, cool. There's a little friction between mother and father because mother might have done something in the past, and they kind of hint that Francis also did something in the past
Yeah.
as well.
with the way they treat each other's respective other kids. You know, like
Yeah,
with the mom, she treats Lukey a bit more sternly, and the dad's always giving way. With Joshua, the dad's just like dismissive, and the mom's like,
no, I say he's a little bit more strict.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, sometimes he's not dismissive, but he's just a little bit more harsh
yeah,
on the kid.
especially towards the dinner scene. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you don't have to say that, man.
Yeah,
Um,
and
before going there, it's nice seeing the family before it goes to that Christmas scene, because at the beginning I was like, wow, he really is, you know, a Pinoy dad, like, it really truly is. But like,
yeah, like his kid like gets like a dead body lands on his kid. He's just like, ah, you gotta get used to it. I'm just like, damn.
right?
Like you're not gonna protect your kid from that. He ain't ready yet. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do love the evolution of Francis' character. I have to point that out now
yeah,
because, like I just had the whole realization midway. I was just like, oh my god, like he wore his father's watch, like he took it off his dead body
yeah,
and put it on, and clearly there is a hell lot of trauma there.
yeah,
Where he got locked in like the generator room. Clearly his family's very abusive and had favoritisms.
yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, that's why he's so bitter towards his brother. That's why he doesn't want anything to do with him. Even at the
And-
most desperate moment, you're like, can you just put that aside and just go
Yeah,
with it,
like-
dude?
like let your pride go because he's like, what, you think I can't take care of my family? You think I can't take care of the land? I was like, bro, there's nothing left. It's the end of the world.
Right?
Yeah. But yeah, what's even worse is the situations that we find out that like the brother had an affair with his wife,
Yeah,
or his wife had an affair with his brother, and I'm like, that makes it even worse.
yeah, that's
It's
why
like,
when they were driving to the checkpoint and the kid was like, yeah, that's where we'll meet Tito, and the dad's like, oh, really? Tito.
that's where he's at.
Yeah,
I wonder why you know that. Yeah. Oh my god. Like, not gonna lie, the way that fuck, what's the name of the actor?
the dad, Sid
Yeah,
Lucero.
Sid Lucero. He does a fucking amazing job
Yeah,
being an angry dad.
yeah,
I had a little bit of flashbacks. I'm like,
yeah. Not just
I'm
any angry dad, a Pinoy angry dad. You're like,
yeah, you're
Like,
just
I'm
like,
sorry.
at the back seat, just like your mom and dad just fight him. Just like,
yeah.
I'm not saying mine, like, but clearly we have witnessed
Oh yeah,
their parents don't like
we've
that.
either seen it or heard stories, and we're like, "Oh, I'm lucky
Yeah.
then."
Yeah.
I do love the few bits of action here. But I also love the fact that there's not a lot of action. It's really like the Philippines Last of Us edition.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, it's just again It's just the isolation of the place, even though like the agenda is not even like bordered up.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have done a bit better with like putting a bit more defenses around. But it's very open.
Yeah.
But it was very open. It's like people can just leave all they want, but they just can't for some reason. And there's like an invisible force field
Yeah.
that you do feel that keeps them there. And we find out the force field is
And that.
Francis.
Yeah. Like I do love everything leading up to the dinner scene during Christmas where like he gets a map and like Josh is like, "Hey man, I saw a map. Can we leave now? I'm begging you. I
Yeah.
want to get out of this place." And he's just like, "Why? What's there? We're all safe here. We have food. We have a generator. I even brought the electricity back." Like he does all these things to make sure they don't leave. Like he leaves the van. He's at one point he like comes back and he's like, "There's so many of them," even though he just killed one thing.
Yeah, no, because like they found out that like these things are rotting and these things are dying off.
Yeah.
And if you just waited long enough, it will just pass.
Yeah.
But yeah, he like staged a whole like, nope, they're getting faster.
Yeah.
Nope, they attacked me.
That
I
just
almost died.
adds to the uniqueness where you're like, if we wait 2 months, it'll just go away, and it's not our
Yeah.
problem anymore. And you're like, oh, I wonder what would happen if all zombie apocalypses in media were like that, where they're like, let's
Yeah.
just wait for a bit, you know? Like, well, will
yeah.
Ellie and Joel be the same if they were like, let's wait in Seattle forever? It will die
Yeah.
off, you know?
But like going back to it, like yeah, like I see what you mean. Like he does everything in his power to just like make sure his family doesn't leave.
Yeah.
And bit by bit, he's like starting to look like his father. He's wearing his clothes.
Yeah.
He's like holding. He has like the machete, like on and the gun on his like and clearly, for sure, that might have been the look of the father back in the day.
Yeah. Like,
And I don't know what it is. Like he's like he just wants to. I think the father represents like control. I
yeah.
guess.
Which is why I love the Christmas dinner scene so much, because you can feel the tension when he's like telling his wife, like, just say what you want to say, please, for the kids.
Yeah.
And he even like tries to turn the kids against her, and you're like, man, in a zombie apocalypse, really? Are you really gonna be this petty?
Remember when I said like every Filipino movie has the circle
Yeah.
of like the family members arguing and resolving shit?
Yeah.
This is it, but it's just a little more intense.
Yeah.
And just there's a gun on the table too, and I'm just like, please don't shoot Iris or the kid that you don't like. You know,
Right.
I'm just like, I was like, don't do anything stupid.
Yeah.
He even like smacks Joshua with like
The watch.
the watch.
Yeah. Joshua's like, don't talk to mom like that, and he's like, say out this, you fucking bastard. You're like, fuck, Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
dude.
I know. I was like, oh damn. Okay.
Yeah.
You made it loud and clear. Okay. I also love the scene where he's like teaching Joshua how to shoot,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and then he just projected on him,
yeah.
like shoot Francis. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I was like-
him anymore.
I was like, I thought his name was Joshua. What do you mean? And I was like, oh wait.
Again, the like how this character just devolves, and just like the amount of anxiety and like trauma that this person had, and just it affected his family, which is, I guess, a message in of itself.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh,
it's very appropriate for these days, I guess.
I do love the small cameo of Ed and Chong Di as the soldier. Like he was just there to be like, yeah, it's not as bad as you say it is. Actually, we're all good almost. And that's when Joshua leaves, and that's when Francis snaps. He just goes up to Ed Chong Di and like raggedy ass, smiley ass face, and just cracks his head with a hammer. I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah, I mean, he at least he had a bigger role in Gamborza.
Yeah. Here is like, I'm here to do exposition and get killed off in the most brutal way possible. Like you even see his rotting corpse at the front because Francis took all his clothes. I'm like, damn, you really are projecting to see what your father was.
Yeah, and just like him, like he killed the dog and tried to feed his family dog meat. And like, I mean, there are some areas in the Philippines that do
A dog.
eat dog.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like, hey, culturally that's all right, or
Yeah. Well,
I guess at that point it is a little bit fucked up.
Yeah, I mean there are some provinces, but again, it's not for everyone's palate. Like, let's be
Yeah,
real,
yeah,
not every Pinoy delicacy is for everyone's palate. Like balut, like what more dog?
yeah, yeah. Ain't my thing.
Yeah, but yeah, he like traps poor Lukey and Iris, and like I do love when she tricks him, and then he chases after them, and then he just sees his dad on top of the stairs, and he's just like he just
He's
breaks
screaming
down.
his head out.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is again amazing acting. Like
yeah,
I'm like, yes, get the fuck out of there, and two, like, really good job showing fear.
yeah. And then like Lukey gets bitten, and the mom has to perform surgery, and like it's something like we've seen a million times. This whole like my arm's infected, you have to cut it off. But like seeing it in a Pinoy version where it's a bolo knife, I'm like, it's a bit too rough, you know?
Yeah, and like bolo knives are like fucking rusty as shit.
Yeah, it's just
You,
this.
you know that shit isn't sharpened either.
Yeah, it's like 20% handle, 80% knife, and you're like, ah, fuck, this is not gonna be pretty.
It's just a block of tetanus, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, by the way, the zombie that like went after them is the brother.
Oh
And
yeah.
if you know,
Yeah. That's why
that's why
France.
it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more personal. That it's like, oh, it's the guy that she had an affair with, and it's like
Yeah.
Francis's like brother that he's like under the shadow of.
Yeah, and that's why it's like you let this one in out of all the zombies, really?
And I was like, oh, the man's lost it.
Yeah. And he's about to kill Iris, and that's when Dookie's like, "We have a bigger problem, which is my arm. Please, mom and dad."
Yeah.
Uh,
And the fucking scene where they have to cut it off is just if you guys can't stomach gore, especially this kind of gore where it's a child, I'm just like,
yeah.
even I kind of like looked away when I was like watching that scene because I was just like, hell no, I'm not watching that.
Yeah.
But
It's
I
like-
rewinded, and yeah, they did show like them cutting off his arm.
Yeah. And then they have to get the van, and like it's just a death by the worst circumstances where Francis is just huffing and puffing like a zombie, and like even says single like one-worded sentences like a zombie.
Yeah, I was like, what? That's that's the description. Like, yeah, he runs into Joshua because like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I forgot Joshua ran.
Yeah.
That's why they locked. That's why he killed like the soldier, and that's why he locked Iris and Lukey
Lukey.
in the basement.
Yeah.
So yeah, the son leaves, but he runs into him, and he has the gun of the uncle. And yeah, he pretty much just takes him out. And it's such a real scene where he's just like saying sorry to his dad.
Yeah.
Like even like a scene before that where they have a line of like, "Sir, I know who my real dad is, but he is also my dad."
Yeah.
Which kind of shows that like he still has an attachment. There is a father and son bond, no matter like if he is a bastard child.
Yeah. I like which kind of hits hard when the dad is like his last word is son. I'm like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
But like it is a hopeful ending because you see like the van come into the house.
Again, I'm not gonna lie. As much as I would love to have closure, I like that scene where like Lukey's like just like half dead,
Yeah.
maybe bleeding out. The mom's like singing to him, and you just see the lights of a car,
Yeah.
and that's like the little glimmer of hope, and that's when the movie ends. It's very open-ended. You don't know if Lukey makes it. They don't, because there's no map. They don't know where to go.
Yeah.
So it's very open-ended. We don't know if like Lukey makes it. We don't know if they make it to the camp. We don't know if like they even make it out.
Yeah.
So it's very open-ended.
Yeah. You don't even know if Joshua knows precisely how to get back. He's just like I guess sure. Because like
It's like, I was like, all right, kid, you suddenly learned how to like drive a manual.
right. And like going to the bridge is nothing but fields, and I'm like, if that was me, I'd be like, I don't know where I'm going. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I don't know why it has such a low score in Rotten Tomatoes. I think it has such a bias.
I was looking at the cast and I was like, what? In IMDb, it's a 5 out of 10. Now I'm like,
Yeah.
hell no.
Yeah,
I don't. I believe that this deserves a little bit more,
yeah.
or a lot. Actually, a lot more than what Rotten Tomato gave. I guess people were kind of looking for that whole what was the name of that zombie movie that's like in Korea and their students?
Oh, the students ones, I don't know. I just know Train
Yeah,
to Busan.
Train to
Uh,
Busan or something like that, where it's like just zombie packed, where like it's just a like full on action,
yeah,
like them killing zombies and trying to survive.
but if this is the trend for Pinoy zombie movies, I like it. I like the slow burn.
I love the slow burn.
Yeah.
I really like this movie as well. Like, again, I feel like critics did a disservice for giving it a 5. I don't know what they give it on Rotten Tomatoes, but like,
Yeah, it's like at 20%. I'm like, really?
what?
Yeah. Like
That thing's so good.
yeah. I was like, what was the problem? There's no weak performance. The cinematography is fucking impressive.
Yeah,
And
when
like,
the zombies are there, it's intense.
yeah. So I
I
don't
why he has
know.
such-
Yeah.
I don't know why he has such an average score.
Yeah,
Anyway,
like
yeah.
other zombie movies or apocalyptic movies have like high scores. Like the recent example is The Last of Us, where it's like not all about the zombies. Like episode 3 of The Last of Us clearly shows that, and it's one of the
Yeah.
most like praised shows ever. Well, here it also deals with like family drama, talking about generational trauma. This is something that Pinoys are unfortunately well aware of and are used to, and and I'm sure the world is used to as well, because we're still learning the mistakes of the past. So I don't know why it's so not as praised. I really think there's a bias somewhere.
Yeah, and I say it was a great medium to represent that kind of storytelling where, yeah, it's a very unique take where, like the whole generational trauma, but in the zombie apocalypse kind of deal, and how much it will affect
Yeah,
a person's survival skills because of that trauma. And I'm like, that is a very unique take, and what the repercussions can
yeah,
like arise when in a situation like that. And
yeah.
I'm like, all right.
All that being said, what would you rate Outside?
Is it a perfect film? I don't. No, it's not. There are some slow moments, and I'm for sure if somebody wants like a full-on zombie movie like Zombieland, this ain't it. But this movie has a message in of itself that, like, in my opinion, I feel like some critics might have looked over.
Yeah,
The acting's amazing, the tension's amazing. It was very real. I don't know if like maybe people thought it was a little too woke or like a little too preachy when it comes to like sending a message, but in my opinion, they did it pretty well.
yeah. Like
And
unfortunately,
yeah.
it's something. Well, in the Philippines, something our past generation has gone through, and hopefully we break that cycle soon. You know.
Yeah, like yeah, with the whole favoritism, with the whole like pretty much parental abuse kind of deal.
Yeah.
Of course, ours never did that. Just like
Yeah.
but it's a very common thing here. Um, and yeah, and like a lot of the times, yeah, sure, I was there for the zombies. So I'm like, yeah, I want to see some zombies, but a lot of the times I'm like, I want to see how they make it out of here, like kind of like Cloverfield,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
where it's supposed to be about aliens, but then it just becomes about this guy who like just won't let the people leave,
Yeah.
and it felt like that, and in its own way, and yeah, I'm sorry, I have to give it a 9. It's a 9 out of 10 for me. I speaking from the truth, like I'm not gonna go with what the critics say or what IMDb says.
Hmm.
I watched this movie to its entirety, and I found nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
You know, I guess pacing is a little bit off. There's some scenes here that are a little too hard to watch, but other than that, it doesn't stop it from telling a great story.
Yeah. I'll give it a 9 out of 10 just for that Christmas dinner scene alone, because that showcases all of their acting abilities, and I'm just like, I forget that we're stuck in the zombie apocalypse. That's why they want a map so badly. Like,
Yeah,
once they start being like, just say who you fucking want to be with. Just fucking say it. And she's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. And you're like, yeah, man, it's just he might shoot you. Can you just say it for your sake?
Yeah.
And like
the faces of the kids like after the moment, they're like, you know, I was like,
Yeah.
that's just too real.
and the fact that it's on Tagalog too, it just gives us a better sense of like, oh god, there's so much dread in the scene. I don't know why.
It's a little too familiar.
Yeah. You know, you've seen zombie movies where they're like, you fucking asshole, you fucking admit, but when he's just saying like, sabihin mo na putangin na, and I'm like, say it.
Yeah.
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 Like,
In translation, just say it, you motherfucker.
yeah. What he says to Joshua too, I'm like, oh Jesus Christ. That's like
Yeah.
the last thing you say in any time. But yeah,
Mm.
I also like the fact that even though it does seem petty, like all these unclosed wounds come to surface at this time, because Francis is like, you know what? This is the perfect time to say this. Who the fuck are you with?
Yeah, I feel like it was a great recipe for disaster kind of
Yeah.
deal, where he goes back to the place where people even said like, this is the last place I would ever expect you to be at.
Yeah.
The man is consumed by it, and he has the freedom of the end of the world to
Yeah.
express how he feels now, and tries to take charge, which I think gives a lot of depth to his character. So, in my opinion, I like it.
But yeah, as you can see, John and I have given it both 9s out of 10s. It's a very good movie, and again, I just hope Pinoy media is recognized more globally, because it deserves it.
Yeah. We're just saying this now. Please watch this movie.
Yeah.
I believe that this movie deserves more than what critics gave it.
Yeah.
If you're into, of course, if you're into like zombie movies that have a little bit more action, this might not be for you. But if you want great storytelling and like deeper meaning into things and message that need to be said, this might be your cup of tea.
Yeah.
It's like very hot tea.
Yeah. I know Sid Lucero is in the movie The Kingdom with Vic Soto. I don't know if you've seen the trailer. It's like dystopian Manila where a king reigns. His family is like the heirs to the Philippines. I'm like, interesting. And I think Sid Lucero is the brother of the king. Like that's what the trailer told me. Looks interesting. Again, I hope the Metro Manila Film Festival it does well. And if you're in the Philippines, please support our local movies. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah,
'Cause-
please.
yeah. Otherwise, because we'll get more stuff like this if you do. So if you want to see better stuff, please support the local film industry because they deserve it. They definitely do. They work so hard to get to this moment, and we have to support each other. And yeah, I just hope one day, who knows, one day maybe we'll get recognized for like best foreign film at the Oscars. But until that day, we'll keep pushing until that happens.
Yeah,
But
because I believe a lot of these actors do deserve that kind of spotlight, especially Sid Lazar. Like not to discredit like any of the other actors like Beauty Gonzalez and like Marco Massa, but like they all did an amazing job. But I will say Sid just stood out a lot.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's been our video for Outside. What do you guys think? Please comment below. If there was another Pinoy zombie apocalypse movie, what city or setting do you think it would be at?
Not gonna lie, it would be fun if it was like straight up just in Metro Manila,
Yeah,
and people would like like navigate through and just like be like, I would have survived if I went here instead of here. I went to this mall instead of that mall, or
Yeah.
something like that. Or like, where would we hunker down if ever like the zombie apocalypse ever like?
yeah. You know, if I was in the movie, I would like make a group and fortify Makati Cinema Square to be like, this is haven. The rest of the world can just burn outside. We have guns. We have a lot of guns. I really don't know why Makati Cinema Square has like a load of things, guns included, but other things as well.
And by the way, these aren't just like regular like, oh, you got a regular shotgun from you. No, these are like spec ops kind of shit.
Right.
I'm just like I was like, man, these are special forces kind of weapons. Like, why'd you got this here?
I did ask like, is this for airsoft? They were like, no. I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, But yeah, if you like what you see here, please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok. TikTok to see our best and funniest moments, Spotify to hear us on the go. And the video Zoda's voices on TikTok and Answell on Letterboxd. Where can I find you?
You can find me at JomJulam_ on Instagram. It is my account.
And until the next time, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.